Good morning, guys, and welcome to another What We Eat in a Day. I actually had to get up 30 minutes earlier this morning to sign up for a spin class tomorrow. It's not a class that I usually do, but because of our schedule and other things, I decided I was going to do it. So I was up before Ashley this morning, which is odd. So I'm just chilling on the couch for a little bit before I go put on my workout clothes. So I'm really not changing much. I've got Pops here with me. I made my coffee. I filmed a few clips. It's just leftover Christmas coffee, so it's the cinnamon sugar cookie Green Mountain, and then I just used my nut pods, the oat milk French vanilla ones, and they're so good. This is my favorite combo. And is it Friday yet? Yes, it is, because today is Friday.
Good morning! So I am in desperate need of coffee because I am very tired today. So I just made my first cup of probably several today. I also just wanted to kind of mention at the beginning of this that the major dietary changes that I have had to adapt in the past month or so are two things. For medical/health reasons, which I'll get into in a week or two, I now have to be gluten-free, 100%, no cheating, gluten-free. And then I also need to avoid dairy whenever possible. I've already been vegetarian for 10 plus years. So by cutting dairy out of my diet, that is essentially making me vegan, because really dairy products is the only thing, mostly cheese, that I ate as a vegetarian that you don't eat as a vegan. But since I need to now avoid dairy, that's where we're at. Gluten is going to be one of those hard and fast, strict, no cheating, have to avoid gluten at all costs. It's an allergy, I have to. Dairy is just recommended, highly recommended to avoid as much as possible. So, I'm not saying I'm never going to cheat or eat a little bit of cheese here and there, but it's gonna have to be very minimal and see how my body feels with all of these changes. So, that's really not that incredibly different than how I have been eating. I don't eat a ton of gluten, of obvious gluten, anyways, on a daily basis. But gluten is in a lot of things, a lot of packaged things that you might not even be aware of that it is in. So I have just had to become uber conscious with reading labels and ingredients and just really making sure that what I'm eating is gluten-free. Eating out is going to be the trickiest part, because it just is. Restaurants just use a lot of gluten in every aspect of meals. So, all right, that is where we're at. So you are caught up and you'll see those new habits reflected in the day. So, I have switched to the Nut Pods creamer. Shelby probably talked about this. I like it a lot. They just came out with the oat milk one. I'm using the unsweetened, they're all unsweetened. I'm using the original flavor. They are unsweetened, they're dairy-free, it's oat milk. It's only 10 calories for 1 tablespoon, and it includes 0 added sugars, which is really hard to find in alternative milks. A lot of alternative milks have added sugars. Sugar is another thing that I need to minimalize. I don't eat a ton of sugar anyways, but in something where it's hiding like this, where I was just dumping, a couple tablespoons of oat milk and my coffee every morning that was loaded with sugar, when I have an option that doesn't have any sugar, I'm gonna take it. So I'm gonna put that in my coffee and get to work. Can you guys tell I'm tired? Because I'm tired. Breakfast time now. My breakfast isn't super exciting because it's just one of these protein shakes. This is what I have for breakfast most mornings, either this or a protein bar. I love this brand. I've talked about it on Instagram a lot, so if you follow me there, then you've heard about this. This is the cold brew coffee flavor. This is the most clean ingredient, vegan, gluten-free protein shake that we've been able to find. There's 20 grams of protein in this. The cold brew one has caffeine. There's a bunch of different flavors. I prefer the cold brew one or the, is it chocolate or dark chocolate?
I don't know. I don't drink that one.
It's a chocolate-y one. Shelbs likes the vanilla or the cookies and cream. But just a super easy but filling on the go or sitting on the couch working breakfast.
Good morning. Sorry, I need to get my water out. I am now starving. We're going to a workout class at 12:15. So usually I would wait until 11 to eat, but on the days when we go to this, I eat a little bit earlier, so it's 10:17. I have oatmeal for breakfast. Just filling up my water glass. Let me take you through what I do with my oatmeal. So I use this gluten-free home-style oatmeal. I just put that in the bowl and heat it up for 60 seconds. And then I mix in some cinnamon, a little bit of honey. This is like the one vegan thing I don't do because I like honey. Then I put a tablespoon of chia seeds. I just finished my last package yesterday. I'm opening a new one. And then I top it off with some of these frozen wild blueberries. They're like little bitty blueberries and I love them. And then I take all my vitamins for the day. It's that simple. All right, it's as simple as that. It's all mixed together, topped with my blueberries, and I'm ready to eat it.
So we decided to skip the workout class. We were planning on going to over lunch. Well, more, I decided to skip it and Shelby didn't want to go by herself. I am just not feeling the best today and I couldn't decide all morning if I wanted to do the class or not, but I ultimately decided not to push through. I couldn't decide if pushing through was going to make me feel better or make me feel even worse. And so I just decided to not do it. Just an example of listening to your body and doing what works best for you that day. So instead, I think Shelbs and I are gonna make some energy balls. But first, I am going to go back in time and show you guys a grocery haul that I did the other day with some food items that I'm gonna use throughout the day today. So show you that first and then come back to make the energy balls. Past Ashley coming at you here. I just got another box in from Thrive Market. This is my second box with Thrive. If you happen to catch on Instagram, I did an Instagram live a couple weeks ago now. That was a combined Trader Joe's haul, and then I took you guys through my first Thrive box where I just ordered a couple of things, and I wanted to place another order. If you're not familiar with Thrive, it is a online store where you can buy like pantry items, nothing like fresh, like no produce, no produce. It's all like packaged pantry items. What I really like about their website is you can filter by like your dietary restrictions, and that is something that I find very helpful. They also list all of the ingredients for everything. They don't really offer a lot of things that I can't find other places, especially living in New York. There are lots of options at like Whole Foods and other natural grocery stores that I have easy accessibility to. The perk of shopping with Thrive though is that for a monthly fee, which is pretty low, it's about $5 a month, you get access to everything on their site, and their prices are lower than traditional grocery stores. So by paying that, $5 a month fee, you get access to everything. And I mean, I've already saved like over $100 because it kind of shows like what traditional grocery stores sell it for and then what Thrive sells it for. And with those things, 2 boxes and it's like 90 something dollars I've already saved off of everything, which is great. So I'm gonna try it for a little bit. By the way, this isn't sponsored or anything. I'm just when genuinely interested and excited to give it a try. So I think I have 30 days to try it, and then like I'm fully billed, but I can cancel within 30 days. So that's why I wanted to grab a second box and just try some more stuff out before I like firmly make up my mind if it's something I want to continue on with the rest of the year. So that being said, let me take you through my first box. On top is two very exciting things. One is this gluten-free pumpkin bread and muffin mix. It's made with almond flour. Love that it's gluten-free. The mix itself is also vegan. However, depending on how you cook it, depends on if it remains vegan once it's cooked. So there are two sets of instructions on the back here. One is with eggs, so not vegan, but then there's a vegan version that uses vegetable oil, water, applesauce, and cornstarch in place of eggs. So I'm gonna give this a try. I'm very excited. I'll probably make pumpkin bread with it. Then I'm also super pumped about these because Shelby likes to make these energy balls, and that's fine, but you have to buy like so many different individual ingredients, and then we end up having like all of these bags up in our cabinet of all of these various things that we just need like a couple tablespoons of in order to make these balls, and I'm just tired of having all that stuff. But I like them and I want to make them. So I saw that Thrive had these mixes, which I'm very excited to try. They're no bake. This is an energy bite mix. This one is oatmeal chocolate chip. I think you can just make them into little balls. So again, there's instructions on the back for various ways to make them depending on your dietary needs. So the mix itself is gluten-free and vegan. But you can do various options of how you want to like add some ingredients. So you need to add a liquid, an oil, and a sweetener, which is optional. So the liquid can be water, milk, juice, applesauce. This says mashed banana or yogurt. And then you add a nut butter or ghee or coconut oil. Any of those depending on your preferences, and then you don't have to, but you can also add a sweetener, so agave or honey or maple syrup. So there's like lots of different ways that you can do this, and I'm excited to give these a try. I'm gonna make these very soon. I also got a package of this Right rice, which I have tried. I buy it at Whole Foods quite often, but again, it's a little cheaper here. So since I was ordering a box, I just threw a package in. This is the original flavor. This is a substitute for rice. The ingredients of this is lentil flour, chickpea flour, pea fiber, rice flour, sunflower oil, and salt. So there's protein in here. There is 10 grams of protein per serving, 4 servings per bag. So that's pretty significant. Just to add to any meal, it's way more protein than actual, traditional rice. This is also a favorite because it cooks well. I've used other kind of like rice substitute-y kind of things from other brands, and they just kind of get a little mushy. And while they may taste fine, like texturally, it's not great. This retains its shape, actually like still looks like rice, tastes like rice. It's really good. To me, if you've ever had orzo, which is a pasta, this is very similar to that, just not glutinous and has protein. So it's better. Thrive has its own like label of food. So just like in any traditional grocery store, if there's like the store brand, it's usually a little bit cheaper. It looks to me that Thrive has that as well. And for some of these items, it's like you have to buy 2. So a lot of what I have in this box, I have 2 of. For that reason, because it just comes in packs of 2. But I only bought those of things that like are not perishable, that I can hang on to and I know I'll use. I'm gonna make taco soup, I think, in the crock pot. So I got a packet of taco seasoning. Excited to try that. everything comes like wrapped really well, which I appreciate. So let's see, what is this? This is applesauce. This is just a jar of, I think it's cinnamon applesauce. Then I got, let's see, I think these are 2 cans, yes, of fire roasted tomatoes. I love a fire roasted diced tomato. I just like the flavor of those. What I like about this is that there's not a lot of sugar. In fact, there is no added sugar. Tomatoes themselves have a little bit of sugar, so just 3 grams of sugar. You guys check your labels. Pasta sauce specifically has tons of added sugar. It's crazy. And it's not necessary. So I'm gonna use those in the taco soup. Also got a couple cans of diced green chilies. Again, you guys are probably seeing this brand in stores. You can get it at a lot of grocery stores. It's just this 2-pack was like $1.50 cheaper, if I'm remembering right, than stores. And it's not that expensive. I think both of these together was like $1 something. Don't quote me, but cheap. Okay, and then this is something that is interesting. So their nut butters come in these like little squeezy pouches, which I like because natural nut butters can tend to get like pretty separated. So I like this because I can just kind of like squeeze it to blend it all together before I squeeze it out, and then I can just easily unscrew this. Not a lot of plastic, which I also love. I need this for these balls. So I have peanut butter, but I know Alex really wants to try these and she's allergic to peanuts. She can have almonds though. So I bought this so that she can try them. You're welcome, Al. So I will give their almond butter a try. The ingredients, it's just almonds. It's 0 added sugar. It's literally just almonds. So that is great. This is a creamy one, but they had like chunky ones too, if that's more your jam. Okay, and then they have these like bean pouches. So I guess this is probably equivalent to a can of beans. So I got this, again, it came in a 2-pack of pinto beans. This package is microwavable. So instead of a can, you can just like stick, I think you vent it with a little cut, but you just stick this in the microwave and you can have beans. So beans is gonna be one of my primary sources, and is one of my primary sources of protein. Beans and like actual rice, not this rice, but like other rice, traditional rice, is one complete protein. If you didn't know that, that is one of the only things I retained from my college chemistry class. I've never forgotten that little tidbit. But these are gonna go in the taco soup I'm gonna make soon. Got a thing of mustard because we didn't have any. This is the spicy brown mustard. This is the Thrive brand. No added sugar or anything in here either, which is great. It is gluten-free. I'm gonna use this for a variety of things. Obviously, whatever you use mustard on. I might make my own salad dressing with it. And then another squeezy tube. This is actually something that I got for free with my order. This is some tahini. Again, in the little squeezy pouch, just like the almond butter is. I'll use this in salads. I have some falafel, which is already sesame seeds, but I might use a little bit on top to drizzle as a garnish. You can use this for a lot of things. I've actually made a bread that uses tahini too, so I might see if I can translate that into a gluten-free vegan bread and use this. You can also like make your own hummus with this, because this is what this goes in hummus. So excited about this. So this was free with my order, and that's the other good thing about Thrive is like once you hit certain like spending thresholds, you get free stuff. So this was a little more expensive. I think this is like $6 for this organic tahini, but I got it for free. So in here is one of my all-time favorite foods. Do you guys know that this is one of my all-time favorite foods? Because it is. Pickles! This is a whole jar of little baby dill pickles. I'm gonna have to open this like now and have one. I love a pickle. Then I also got this salad dressing. This is the brand Primal Kitchen. This one is an oil and vinaigrette dressing. I'm gonna give this a try. In my last box, I bought a vegan ranch, and I didn't love it. It was fine, but it just wasn't like the satisfying, craving, filling ranch dressing I really wanted. So I'm gonna give this a try and see if I am more a fan in this brand of the vinaigrettes instead of the creamy. Almost done. Last little package here is more beans, I think. So I got some garbanzo beans here in this pouch, and then kidney beans. Welcome back to today. So this is what we're about to make, this mix that I got, and I'm really excited, and I hope that they're really good. Was easy. That whole thing took like less than 5 minutes. It says store them in an airtight container in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. I assure you these will be gone way before 2 weeks is up. But do you want to try one?
Before they're cold?
Yeah. Okay. Cheers.
Pretty good. We added a scoop of protein powder to them.
We're good.
Just to have a few more health benefits.
Shelby's going in on another protein ball, but I am making my lunch and I'm gonna have this, which
it's so good.
It's really good. Since I'm skipping my workout, it's probably not the best lunch choice.
It's really,
but it's really
not bad for you
it's not bad, but it's
beans and vegetables.
I know. I'm not saying it's bad for you. It's just not like a fresh organic meal per se. But this mac and cheese is vegan and gluten-free, and for just a quick, easy,
and high protein,
easy meal that makes you kind of fulfill that mac and cheese craving, it tastes really good. I love this brand of pasta. I use it all the time. You're not as big of a fan of the plain pasta, but you like this. Mm-hmm. They just came out with a plant-based, like, vegan version.
I add cayenne to that.
So if you're not familiar with the Banza pasta, it's made of chickpeas. So a very high protein pasta that's gluten-free. And then their sauce is just made with sweet potato, nutritional yeast, sea salt, pumpkin, tapioca starch, turmeric, paprika, like onion, garlic. So it's a pretty clean, like, vegan sauce.
I'm gonna have tea, green tea.
It isn't as you have to get in your head that it's not going to taste like Kraft mac and cheese out of the box. It's a different kind of flavor, but it's similar enough that it kind of just fulfills that mac and cheese craving. Let's see, how many servings? This says 2.5 servings per container. Let's be real, I eat the whole box.
It's like 500 calories for the whole box.
Which isn't bad.
No.
At all. If you guys are not familiar with nutritional yeast as an ingredient, we use it on a lot of things. It is a good vegan alternative to a cheesy component in dishes. You can sprinkle it on a lot of things. This is what it looks like.
It's high in B12 as well. So if you're vegetarian or vegan. But we've been using it for years.
It's not, it's like nutritional, like the term yeast is typically like in like a bread dough. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's yellow. It smells cheesy. Like you can get it at a lot of places. So Trader Joe's sells it in like a big bag for pretty cheap. I think Thrive has nutritional yeast. I just didn't need any yet. You can get it at Whole Foods. You can probably find it in
I think it's
a lot of places. It's very common, but it's a good like cheesy alternative if you're trying to cut out dairy. So gonna make this for lunch. Drink my Spindrift.
I'm having green tea. I'll eat lunch later. I'm not quite ready for lunch yet.
I don't think I have time to take a nap, but I really want to take a nap. Maybe we'll watch an episode of that show that we like. We've been watching
right now?
Maybe. We've been watching on Disney Plus the show Encore, and it's really good. Here is the final product. The whole box is in this bowl. I topped it with a little bit of smoked paprika because I just really love that flavor. So there's lunch. Yay.
Okay, it is now lunchtime, and I'm about to have something that's probably going to seem really strange. But Ashley and I were tested for some food allergies a few months ago, if you guys saw in some of our videos, and we found out that we couldn't have eggs anymore. And now that we're both pretty much vegan and gluten-free, I was trying to find things, with protein and things that will fill us up, and I came across this. And it's called Just Egg. It is not made from eggs. It's made from mung beans, but it basically cooks just like eggs. It has all of the benefits of eggs, but no saturated fat like you get with eggs. So it's actually better, and it tastes just like eggs. I made it once before, and I was shocked by how it tasted. It was really good. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to do the equivalent of 2 eggs with this. So the serving size is 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to do 6 tablespoons. And then I'm going to top it with the everything but the bagel seasoning. So you cook it just like eggs. I sprayed some avocado oil on my pan. I'm going to heat that up and then just measure out 6 tablespoons of this onto the pan and eat that. And then I'm also going to have my last serving of these peanut butter puffs, which Poppy is going to be very excited about. And that's going to be my lunch. I know Ashley said we decided not to go to the gym. Well, we decided not to go to that class. I'm going to do like a strength training thing here, and then I'm going to go to the gym to get some cardio in later. So this is kind of like my fuel to be able to go do that. I can eat everything a little bit earlier because I'm not working out at night tonight, so I'll be eating my dinner earlier than I usually do, so everything just kind of like moves up a little bit. But yeah, I'll show you what this looks like afterwards. It's so like weird that it's just like eggs. So this is what it looks like on the pan. I'm actually going to put in a little bit of black pepper as well, and then everything but the bagel seasoning, and then just scramble it like normal. There's the final product. I got my peanut butter puffs.
This is Poppy waiting for peanut butter puffs. That yummy? It's one of her favorite treats. It's like the only packaged treat we give her. She gets fruit sometimes. Wow, the sun is very bright and shiny today. It's kind of uplifting my mood a little bit. I ran to get a coffee because it's falling asleep. This has just been a rough day. I have started getting Americanos, which is just espresso and water, if you're not familiar. to avoid too much of the milk and syrups. So fun fact, and actually I think this is why I'm feeling kind of really run down and tired today, I have now researched that a lot of the syrups that Starbucks has have gluten in them. Shelby got me a latte yesterday with syrup and I immediately started having a reaction. So I think that's why it's just kind of carried over to today, which is unfortunate. So trying this new coffee method to see if that goes a little better. The coffee definitely helped, so that's good. I am about to throw my dinner into the crock pot to get it going because it's about 4 o'clock right now. So it doesn't take too long, but I just want it to be going for a few hours before dinner so that all the flavors kind of meld and come together. I'm going to use a lot of the ingredients that came in my Thrive box, so let me take you through what I am planning on doing. So I'm going to do a version of taco soup. So I'm going to do 1 of this package of kidney beans, 1 garbanzo beans, 1 pinto beans. You can use, you know, kind of like whatever beans you like. This is just what I bought and I'm going to use since that's what I have on hand. I often do black beans in here, but again, this is what we're going with. I also have a can of the Hatch diced green chilies I'm going to throw in there. Also this fire roasted diced tomatoes, 1 can of that, and a packet of taco seasoning to season this up to make it taste like tacos. I'm also, I think, going to throw in the rest of this bottle of vegan ranch I got from Primal Kitchen. There's not too much in here, but I usually put ranch in this. Usually I'll do a packet of the dry, like Hidden Valley Ranch mix in this too. That's not vegan though, so I'll try that for a little bit of flavor. Sometimes I'll do like a Beyond Meat like crumbles, which are pea protein. I don't have any. I might go to the store. I might just skip it. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll throw in some cauliflower rice. This is frozen cauliflower rice from Whole Foods. Just for like a little beefiness, maybe I'll throw that in. I'm gonna kind of dump it into the crock pot and see where I'm at. I really just do this by sight, and you can obviously change out any of these ingredients based on your preferences. Sometimes I'll throw like frozen corn in here, but I really try not to eat a ton of corn. So yeah, let's dump and see where we're at. Is where we're at with all of the ingredients. There's still room in here. It's not super full, so I am going to add in half a bag of this riced cauliflower that's frozen that I have in the freezer. I'm also going to add a little bit of this ground flaxseed. Flaxseed's really good for omega-3s, which is something with my diet I don't get naturally. It's something you get with fish. So if you eat a lot of fish, you're good, but I obviously don't. So I'm trying to incorporate more ground flaxseed and a lot of different things. You can just stick it in lots of different various things that you're consuming. It's really good in what's it say here? Okay, it says tastes great. It's a nutty flavor. It tastes great in muffins, smoothies, breads, and more. So like you can, I used to throw it in smoothies when I made a lot of smoothies. I haven't done that lately, but I'm just going to do it in here. You're not even going to know that it's in there, but you're getting the health benefits of it. So I'm not even going to stir this. I'm just going to put it in the crock pot base here and let it go on high for an hour or so. I'll give it a stir and then check on it. Have that going. Now I'm going to have a snack of a sumo citrus. I'm so excited that it's sumo citrus season again. I'm obsessed with these little oranges. They're so good. This is my last one, so I'm gonna need to make a Whole Foods trip tomorrow so I can get some more. I like these because they're super juicy and sweet, but also super easy to peel. But they're like bigger than those little like mandarins. It's more like a actual size of a traditional orange, but way easier to peel and much tastier. So very sad this is my last one, but just an excuse to go buy more. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half now. Here's where we are. I'm gonna give it a stir. I'm gonna let that go for about another hour or so, and then it's time to eat.
Good evening. Alex and I were both like really craving something sweet, so we decided we're gonna make something. So I'm going to make these. Oh no, where'd they go? These cinnamon sugar swirl bars. They only have a few ingredients. It's just applesauce, milk of choice, which I'm going to use almond milk, 2 flax eggs, which are currently making in the fridge, maple syrup, baking powder, and almond flour, and that's it. And then a little bit of cinnamon sugar, which this is a cinnamon sugar blend that my dad makes, so it's got lots of love in it. And then we just put those in a pan and bake them. So I'm going to this up, get it in the oven, and then I'm gonna have dinner very quickly while that's baking so that I can have one of these when they're fresh out of the oven. All right, they are about to go in the oven. Al requested chocolate chips on top, so we did that. Hello! So I'm about to put it in the oven, and then I will start my dinner. Okay, the cinnamon swirl things are in the oven. I don't know what we call them. That's why I'm calling them cinnamon swirl things. So I'm gonna put together dinner now. For dinner, I usually just do like a hodgepodge of random things. So I'm going to have a few of these sweet potatoes, which I made yesterday. And let me insert the clip because I filmed how I made them in anticipation for this. So here's how I made these. Hello, past Shelbs coming at ya. I am showing you now how we do our potatoes in the air fryer. So I have the air fryer preheating right now, and now I need to prep the potatoes. So what I'm gonna do is just wash it. This is some version of a sweet potato. Our Whole Foods has like 10 different versions of sweet potatoes. So I'm just gonna wash this, cut it into cubes, and then I'll put it in this bowl and toss it with a little bit of avocado oil spray. And then I put whatever, there's Ash, seasonings I want. I probably will do some of the onion salt, maybe just some regular black pepper. I put some dill on my last potatoes and they were really good, so maybe a little bit of that. And then we just do it on this one here. It's a French fry setting on the air fryer. Depending on how much is in there, and I check it halfway through, about 20-ish minutes to get that done. So super, super simple. All right, that's them done. This potato was a little smaller than I had anticipated. The air fryer is ready. I'm gonna try and do this holding it. This is not easy. Holding the camera. I'm just gonna plop them in there. There we go. Take that. Go back in there. That's definitely not going to take as long. Let's turn the heat down. I'll just check it. Perfect. And then I have a little bit still of the kale gnocchi and the cauliflower gnocchi from Trader Joe's with a little bit of the kale vegan pesto. So I'm going to throw that in my bowl as well. And then I am going to make some kale chips in the air fryer. But then my last component is this kind of like 3-bean chili that I made. And I say chili lightly. I just did beans and quinoa and then like a tablespoon of tomato paste and some water and spices, and that's how I made it. So it's not super liquidy. So I'm just gonna do about half a cup of this to get some protein and then I'm gonna stuff my face with these cinnamon swirl things because I'm so excited. All right, so for the kale chips, I just massaged it with avocado oil and then I sprinkled it in this Mexican Fiesta seasoning and some nutritional yeast. So I'm just gonna pop that in the air fryer for 3 minutes, and meanwhile I'm going to heat this up in the microwave, and then I just throw these on top, and that is dinner. All right, dinner has been had. I just took these out of the oven. A little bit of that cinnamon sugar, I guess, was too piled up and it didn't soak in. We're gonna let this sit for like 5 to 10 minutes and let it kind of like harden up a little bit. I'm going to make some peppermint lavender tea from this place Ashley got me for Christmas. Very excited, and I will probably eat 2 of these, okay?
Here is the finished product of the taco soup. It looks really delicious. So I already got some in a bowl here, and I'm gonna top it with a dollop of this organic spicy avocado hummus and pretend that it's guacamole. It's close.
Close enough.
I'm also excited for this that Shelby made while I was taking a bath.
Okay, so it didn't hold together very well because it's supposed to be super moist, and so I just kind of like piled some on my plate, and I'm gonna have that. I've got my lavender peppermint tea, and we're gonna watch Station 19 in Grey's Anatomy from last night. But I'm pumped to try this. Alex just had a piece. She said there's not like a ton of flavor because it's not like super sweet because we didn't add like sugar to it. It's kind of some bland ingredients. Excuse me. She said you can really taste the applesauce, but I like applesauce, so I'm fine with that. Maybe, you know, I'm eating fruit for dessert. It's applesauce. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself.